If you're a low-income senior struggling to make ends meet on Social Security, I have some potentially life-changing news for you today. Congress is seriously considering the most significant Social Security increase for low-income recipients in over 40 years. And this could mean an extra $200 to $400 per month in your pocket. I'm talking about real legislative proposals that are gaining momentum right now, not wishful thinking. As someone who's been tracking Social Security policy for over a decade, I can tell you that the political climate for these changes has never been better. But here's the thing. Most seniors have no idea these proposals even exist, and timing is absolutely critical. If you don't understand what's happening and how it might affect you, you could miss out on benefits that could transform your retirement. So, stick with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to break down exactly what's being proposed, who qualifies, and what you need to do to prepare. Right now, millions of American seniors are facing an impossible choice between paying for groceries or prescription medications. The current Social Security system, while vital, simply wasn't designed to handle today's cost of living reality. The average Social Security check is about $1,800 per month, but for low-income seniors, it's often much less, sometimes as low as $800 to $1,200 monthly. Here's what makes this moment different. We're seeing bipartisan recognition that the current system is failing our most vulnerable seniors. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed just how precarious life is for millions of older Americans, and politicians on both sides of the aisle are finally acknowledging that something has to change. Three major factors are driving this potential breakthrough. First, inflation has hit seniors harder than any other group. Their fixed incomes can't keep up with rising costs for housing, food, and healthcare. Second, we have the largest generation in history, the baby boomers, now fully in their Social Security years, creating unprecedented political pressure. Third, recent economic data shows that targeted increases for low-income seniors could actually strengthen the overall Social Security system rather than drain it. Let me walk you through the three main proposals that could dramatically increase your Social Security benefits. The first is called the Social Security 2100 Act, which has been reintroduced with significant support. This proposal would establish a new minimum benefit that ensures no senior receives less than 125% of the federal poverty level. In practical terms, that means if you're currently getting $900 per month, you could see that jump to around $300. The bill also changes how cost of living adjustments are calculated using a formula that better reflects what seniors actually spend money on. The second major proposal is the Boosting Benefits and COLAs for Seniors Act. This one focuses specifically on low-income recipients and would provide an immediate $200 monthly increase to anyone whose Social Security benefit is below a certain threshold. What makes this particularly interesting is that it has support from senators in swing states who are feeling pressure from their senior constituents. The third proposal, and perhaps the most ambitious, is the Social Security Expansion Act. This would not only increase benefits for current recipients, but also improve the formula for future retirees. Low-income seniors could see increases of $300 to $400 per month, and it would be funded by removing the cap on Social Security taxes for high earners. Now, let's get specific about who would benefit and by how much, because this isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. If your current Social Security benefit is less than $1,200 per month, you're likely in the target group for these increases. The proposals generally define low income as receiving benefits that are less than 150% of the federal poverty level. For a single person in 2024, that's about $22,590 annually, or roughly $1,880 per month. Here's how the math works out. If you're currently receiving $800 per month, the minimum benefit provision could boost you to $900. That's an extra $500 monthly or $6,000 per year. If you're getting $1,200 per month, you might see an increase to $1,400 or $1,500, depending on which proposal passes. But there's an important detail many people miss. These increases could be retroactive. Some versions of the legislation include provisions that would provide back payments to cover the period when the law takes effect. That could mean a lump sum payment of several $1,000s in addition to the ongoing monthly increase. The proposals also include improvements to survivor benefits. which is huge for widows and widowers who often see their household income cut dramatically when their spouse passes away. Under current law, many survivors see their combined household Social Security income drop by 1/3 to 1/2. The new proposals would ensure survivors retain at least 75% of the combined benefits the couple was receiving. Let's talk honestly about the politics here, because understanding the legislative landscape will help you set realistic expectations. The good news is that Social Security expansion has broader support than it's had in decades. Recent polling shows that over 80% of Americans, including a majority of Republicans, support increasing Social Security benefits for low-income seniors. This isn't a partisan issue when it comes to public opinion. The challenge is the usual Washington gridlock and concerns about funding. However, several factors are working in favor of these proposals. First, the 2024 election results showed that Social Security was a major issue for voters, particularly in swing states with large senior populations. Politicians got the message loud and clear. Second, the funding mechanisms in these proposals are more politically viable than they have been in years. Most Americans support the idea of removing the Social Security tax cap for high earners, essentially making wealthy individuals pay Social Security taxes on all their income, not just the first $160,200. Realistically, we're looking at a timeline of 12 to 18 months for any of these proposals to become law. The legislative process is slow, but there's momentum building that I haven't seen before. Committee hearings are already scheduled, and there's talk of including some version of Social Security expansion in broader economic legislation. This is the action section, what you can and should do while we wait for these proposals to move through Congress. First, make sure your Social Security records are accurate and up to date. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and verify that all your earnings history is correct. If there are errors, get them fixed now, because any benefit increases will be calculated based on your existing record. Second, keep detailed records of your current expenses, particularly for healthcare, housing, and food. If these proposals pass, there may be application processes or verification requirements, and having documentation ready will help you navigate that quickly. Third, stay informed about the legislative process, but be wary of scams. Unfortunately, whenever there's news about Social Security increases, fraudsters come out of the woodwork. The Social Security Administration will never call you asking for personal information or payment to process benefit increases. All legitimate information will come through official channels or be available on the SSA website. Fourth, consider reaching out to your representatives in Congress. A personal letter or phone call from a constituent carries real weight, especially on issues like this where politicians are paying close attention to senior concerns. You don't need to write a lengthy policy analysis. Just share your story and explain why these increases would matter to you. Even if you can't control the legislative timeline, you can prepare for the potential changes in ways that will benefit you regardless. Start by creating a budget that accounts for a potential increase in your Social Security benefits. I know it's tempting to spend money before you have it, but having a plan will help you make the most of any increase. Consider priorities like paying down debt, building an emergency fund, or addressing deferred maintenance on your home. If you're currently receiving other benefits like SNAP, Medicaid, or housing assistance, understand how a Social Security increase might affect your eligibility. In most cases, Social Security increases won't count against you for means-tested programs, but it's worth checking with a benefits counselor to be sure. Also, think about tax implications. Social Security benefits can be taxable depending on your total income, and a significant increase might push you into a different tax bracket. This isn't necessarily bad. Having more income is generally better than having less, but it's worth planning for. I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you currently struggling to make ends meet on your Social Security benefits? What would an extra $200 or $300 per month mean for your daily life? Your stories help other viewers understand they're not alone, and they also help me create content that addresses your real concerns. If this information is helpful to you, please hit that like button. It helps more seniors find this content when they need it most. And if you want to stay updated on Social Security news and other retirement topics, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. I know many of you are frustrated and scared about your financial situation. After working your entire life and paying into Social Security, you deserve dignity and security in your retirement years. The fact that millions of seniors are choosing between food and medicine in the wealthiest country in the world is simply unacceptable. But here's what I want you to remember. You have more power than you think. Your voice matters, your vote matters, and your story matters. Politicians are finally listening to seniors in a way they haven't in decades. And that's largely because people like you have made it impossible to ignore these issues. In the meantime, don't be too proud to seek help if you need it. There are programs and resources available that you've earned through your years of work and tax payments. Contact your local area agency on aging, look into SNAP benefits if you qualify, and ask about utility assistance programs in your area. Stay hopeful, but also stay realistic. Change takes time, but it is coming. Let me quickly recap the key points we've covered today. Congress is considering 3 major proposals that could increase Social Security benefits for low-income seniors by $200 to $400 per month. These increases could be retroactive and would be funded primarily by removing the Social Security tax cap for high earners. If you're receiving less than $1,100 per month in Social Security benefits, you're likely in the target group for these increases. The timeline is 12 to 18 months, and there's more political momentum behind these changes than we've seen in decades. What you need to do right now: verify your Social Security records, document your expenses, stay informed through official channels, and consider contacting your representatives in Congress. This is a pivotal moment for Social Security policy, and staying informed and engaged could literally put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket each year. I'll continue following these developments and updating you as things progress. Thanks for watching, and remember, you've earned these benefits through a lifetime of hard work. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'll see you in the next video.